Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, you'll learn how to embroider a stem stitch and a woven rose flower. We will embroider a stem to our lazy daisy flower that we created in the last video. So for the stem stitch, insert the needle into your amigurumi or your cushion and take it all out as you can see on the video. And now skip one stitch and insert the needle into the second stitch and take the needle out into that stitch we just skipped. So basically in between the first and the third stitch. Now pull on your yarn to create this stitch and you can see that our leftover yarn is in the middle of this stitch. Now pull the yarn at the top and hold it with your other hand. Insert the needle into the next stitch and come back to where our previous stitch is ending, just like on the video. Let go of the yarn and this is how you're gonna continue creating the stem stitch. You always go one stitch further and one stitch back. One stitch further and one stitch back. Just make sure that your yarn that you are holding is always on one side of this stitch. So either on the top or on the bottom, and don't switch the sides around. So this is how the stem stitch looks like. You can obviously go as long as you want. I'm gonna here turn a little bit to the left. So I'm gonna go one stitch down and still return to the last stitch of my previous stitch, let's say. Still holding the yarn on the top side of the amigurumi. As you can see, I'm moving diagonally right now to get closer to the center of my flower where I want my stem to end. So here I'm gonna create my last stitch for the flower. So I will create it as usual, but for the end part, I will just simply come back to the same stitch where I just finished my last stem stitch, and I will return back to the very beginning. And this is it. This is a stem stitch. So you will see me using it one more time at the end of the video, just in the straight line. So if you didn't fully catch it, you can still see it at the very end that I will create for the second flower that I'm gonna show you right now. In this next part of the video, I will show you how to make a woven wheel or woven rose stitch. I'm using an orange yarn because I'm actually not making a rose, I'm making a poppy, but it's exactly same principle. I will show you in which part of the video to stop if you want to just make a rose. So in this part, I will create 5 lines that will be approximately the same length. Honestly, it does not matter how these lines will look like because they will hide under the flower. So don't worry about that part too much. Now when making the last line, you want to exit 1 stitch away from the middle, just like on the video. Now we're gonna use under-over method or over-under, whatever you want to call it. So we're gonna go under the first line with our needle, and then we will skip the second line and go under the third line again. We will loop the yarn through, and then once again, we will skip the next line and go under the next one. So you will always skip one and go under the other one. So the reason why we have uneven amount of lines is because each line will get 1 round under and 1 round over. So they kind of need to switch in between them, otherwise it would not look as good. So you always need uneven, either 3, 5, 7, or how many lines do you wish to have. And you basically just keep going in a circle until the flower is as big as you wish. Now continue going in rounds over and under until your flower is pretty much completely covering the lines that we created. Now this is how the finished woven rose or woven wheel looks like. If you want to make just a rose, you can finish here. If you want to proceed to make a poppy, continue. To make a poppy look like a poppy, it needs a black center. So to make this black center, we're gonna do a French knot that we learned in the last video. So please, if you're not sure, go ahead and check that one out. To make a French knot, insert the needle into your toy and take it out into the center of the poppy. Now, as we learned in the last video, we'll hold the yarn with the left hand and turn the yarn around the needle 2 or 3 times to create the knot. Insert it back inside of where you just came from and take the needle out while still holding the yarn with our left hand just to make sure it doesn't run away. And that's it. This is our poppy. We're gonna make a stem in a minute. To make a stem for my poppy, I used this light green yarn. And we basically did the stem stitch all over again, but this time I used just a straight line. So I'm sorry I missed this on the video, but pretty much you insert the yarn inside of your toy as we did before. We turn the toy the way that it's holding for us the best, and then you insert the needle again 2 stitches away and come back 1 stitch. So we repeat the same step again. We'll insert the yarn again 1 stitch away and come back 1 stitch. And we go further and further until we reach our flower. And that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed and thank you for watching.